and welcome back to 9 Nails Garage. Today we're going to be working on my 2007 Dodge Ram 2500 with the 5.9 Cummins turbo diesel. If you saw in the last video, if you follow along, this truck broke down far away from home, and we actually had to buy another truck and a trailer to get it home. We had problems, and I'm pretty sure it was a fueling issue. We were blowing excessive smoke out the exhaust, and it was also making what seemed like an injector knock noise. So I'm pretty certain it's something to do with the injectors. We did have to limp the truck to get it to the hotel, and I'm really hoping we didn't mess up the cylinder liner because it was getting washed with fuel. If it was an injector that was dumping excess fuel into the cylinder, without the proper lubrication, it could have scored the cylinder. So today we're going to pull the injectors out, we're going to inspect them, what we can, and then we're going to send them off to get tested and see what they come back as. Also, we're going to drain the oil and we're going to inspect it for any metal shavings or metal particles that shouldn't be in there. That would be a definite indication that we had some damage to cylinder walls. But hopefully we don't get that, and we're also going to pull the oil filter, we're going to cut it apart and check for metal shavings in there as well. The truck has about 256,000 miles on it, I think. I believe the injectors were replaced at one point before I purchased it. That's what the last owner told me. So that's what we went off. And since I've owned the truck, I've replaced the fuel filter every other oil change. They're definitely less prone to failure with good fuel and good fuel filtration. So enough about the truck. Now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna pull off the valve cover, and we're gonna pull off our injector lines over here, gonna pull off our intake horn and injector lines back there coming off the common rail. We'll get the connector tubes pulled out and we'll get our injectors pulled out of here. So we're gonna go ahead and get started right now. Alright, so here you go. We got the injectors out, and right away off the bat you can see that one of these is not like the other. You can see that these are genuine Bosch injectors. They've got part numbers on them and the Bosch symbol on all of them. So these are definitely Bosch injectors, and who knows what that is. So we've got that I did notice. I did notice that we have an Allen head screw on the number 2 injector, so that's interesting. I don't know, somebody did an injector job at one point and lost a bolt. So that kind of tells you right there what kind of work was done by the previous owner or by the previous shop that had this. Also over here, you can see we've got a different connector tube. So I find that interesting. I really don't like to mix and match parts. If I need new injectors, which it looks like I do, I'm gonna go ahead and replace them all. You know, then we get a baseline for every cylinder and they're all running the same. So yeah, I really don't like to mix and match parts like this. So now the next step, we're gonna go ahead and bag up our injectors to get them sent out to get tested. So it is actually a few weeks later since the last time we filmed, and since then we had all 6 of our injectors sent off to get tested at a local diesel shop, with 3 of the injectors testing bad. So out of those 3 injectors testing bad, 2 of them had high return rate and 1 of them had a cracked tip. So it was dumping straight fuel into cylinder number 4. And that was our issue. That's why we had all the smoke, and that's why we had the knocking noises. So we drained all the oil in the engine, and I couldn't find any metallic particles at all whatsoever. And we also cut open the oil filter to look for metallic particles there. There's no blow-by in the truck at all either, so that's an indication that our cylinders are good and we're ready to put new injectors back in it. Every time I searched Google for the cheapest injector, I found Injectors Direct to have the cheapest prices for remans and brand new injectors. So I gave them a call. They were very helpful on the phone, and they helped me walk through which injector was actually best for me. We went with brand new Bosch injectors with 50 horse tips on them, and they're gonna perform well and last a long time. So let's go ahead, open up this box and see what we got. Now, Injectors Direct is the #1 place to go to for any of your fueling system needs. For your Duramax, Cummins, or your Power Stroke. They've got anything from lift pumps to high pressure fuel pumps to fuel pressure regulators, new fuel rails, fuel additives, injectors, connector tube. Injectors Direct has the lowest price guaranteed. If you can find it anywhere else for cheaper, they'll beat it. They also offer free 2 to 3 day shipping on any of your injectors, so you get your truck up and running as fast as possible. All injectors are in stock and ready to ship the same day. They also have convenient core return options and free injector removal loaner tools if you need them. And this is actually the 3rd set of injectors I've purchased for 2 of my previous trucks and my current Cummins. With that being said, we're gonna get right to throwing these brand new injectors in the truck. Down on the truck, we got the new injectors in, we got the new connector tubes in, we did a full valve lash on the truck, both intake and exhaust valves. The exhaust valves were way out, so not only injectors are going to make it run better, but the valve lash too. So here we go. First start with the new injectors. We are going to cycle the key a few times just to make sure we can get any air out of the system that we can with the low pressure fuel pump, just because air is absolutely detrimental to any kind of fuel system. All right, here we go, first start. There we go. Smoke, so it looks like we're in pretty good shape. So we had a good start up, everything went well, the truck is idling good, there's no leaks, there's no smoke coming from the exhaust, so we're gonna let it idle for a little bit, we'll let it get up to temperature, and then we'll take it for a spin. So after driving the truck for about 20 miles, I think the computer relearned the new injectors, and it's not hazing at idle. There's no haze at all at idle. There's little, very, very little to about no black smoke. But overall, the injectors are doing really good. I can definitely feel the extra 50 horsepower. It's not, you know, it's not a crazy amount of power, but it definitely helps make this truck a little more drivable. You know, this truck with a stock tune with the G56 transmission, it is a little bit underpowered and it is a little sluggish. So the 50 horse helps out. It's nothing crazy, like I said, and it's still going to be, I think, a good, reliable setup. I don't have anything else done to this truck. There's no tuner in it. It's got the stock intake. It's got the stock exhaust on it. So that's the way I like it. And I just want it to be as reliable as possible for, you know, especially going on trips far away. You know, that was a fluke what happened in North Carolina when we went to pick up the Viper. But, you know, stuff like that happens. Stuff happens like that with brand new 2021 Dodge trucks. I've definitely heard of more stories of that happening on newer trucks than the older ones. So, very happy with the truck, very happy with the injectors. Definitely the brand new Bosch injectors were the way to go. So that just freshened this truck up, and it's going to last for many more miles, I'm sure. You can definitely tell the valve lash was way out. You can hear the valves even before the injectors were bad. I should have did them earlier, but Never got around to it. It's not the end of the world in these things, but it's just going to make the truck run smoother, and it's going to make it more efficient too. You're going to get better fuel mileage. So hopefully these new injectors will help out with that too. I'm sure that was an issue with those 3 failing injectors. Overall, I'm very happy. So stay tuned. I think we definitely have a few more things planned here for the 07. If there's anything you want to see, put it in the comment section down below. We do have the 06 too, and there's a lot more to come on that. We do have our new tires, and we're probably going to be doing a Carly suspension on it. So stay tuned for that. I think it's going to turn out to be a very nice truck. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.